And we are back, and what is a salad without some delicious croutons? We're going to start with a serrated knife. A serrated knife has teeth like a saw, so we don't crush our soft bread. We're going to just start with some regular old sliced sandwich bread. The best thing to do is to use bread that's one day or a few days old, and that's because if it's very fresh, it's going to be very, very soft and fluffy, and we want it to be a little bit on the dry side. So we're just going to cube this bread. You can use any kind of bread. You don't have to use this Wonder bread. You could use a baguette. You could use brioche. You could even go crazy and use like a pound cake and put it on a fruit salad or something. But that's like another lesson for another day. Let's just cube up this bread using a serrated knife. If I were to use a regular non-serrated straight blade chef's knife, I would smush my bread. And this bread is really easy to smush because it's so soft. So first we're going to stack the bread, then cut that bread into sticks, and then we're going to just turn it and cut across those sticks to make it into cubes. Very easy. Now, some of us in class, we've made croutons together before, and they were pretty easy, and we actually toasted them in the oven. But today I want to show you how you can make croutons on a skillet over the stove. So let's move to the stove. Hey, here I am. What's up at the stove? All right, I'm going to level with you. I do not have enough butter here. I need way more than that. So you're going to see me leave later to get more butter. But start off with some cubed butter or just small pieces of butter, and we're going to heat them over medium heat. Our goal is to have a nice golden, bubbly, foamy, melted butter coating the bottom of the pan. And then we will add our bread cubes. And we're going to add more butter as we go along throughout this whole toasting process. So you can see that the butter has mostly melted and we've got some golden bubbles. We do not want it getting too brown. If you see smoke, it's way too hot. We don't want to burn this butter. We actually want the bread to soak up a lot of this butter to give it some nice buttery flavor. It's important right here that you don't overfill the pan. Don't overcrowd it. You don't want it to be so full that you can't stir things around. If it looks like it's going to be too much, just make it in 2 batches, no problem. It's important that we do gentle stirring. We don't want to stir it, I guess, in a rough way that we smush our bread cubes. And remember that we need to add more butter as we go. Keep your bread moving around so that it toasts evenly on both sides and so that we don't have any burnt pieces of bread for our croutons. Your cubes should start getting golden brown, but not to the point where they are too dark because we don't want to have burnt croutons. It is important to season your croutons. We want them to be flavorful, and as I used unsalted butter, we're going to be adding a little bit of salt. Remember, don't just dump salt on. You don't want it to be really salty. It would make it not so good to eat. I pour a little bit of salt into my palm and then I sprinkle until I think it's about right. And you can see that this salt poured out kind of fast. So imagine if I had poured that salt out over the pan. It would be a disaster. So after the salt, you can actually get kind of creative with your seasonings. You could add some fresh or dried herbs to it. Of course, you're always welcome to add fresh cracked black pepper. You might add some garlic to make some garlic croutons. You could add cheese, maybe Parmesan cheese. Maybe we're making a Caesar salad and you want to get fancy with your croutons. You can do a lot of great things. Oh, you can see that we're getting a little bit toastier now. That's good. You want your croutons to be a little bit on the crunchy side. Okay, you're going to see that I'm adding some fresh cracked black pepper. I'm going to be keeping this batch of croutons pretty basic, just butter, salt, and pepper. And that's because the recipe for the salad I used was really flavorful and had bold flavors, and I don't want to overpower it. Oh, coughing a little bit. But did you notice how I coughed into my elbow? Good job. So here's where I'm going to leave the room and go get some more butter. And now is a good time to talk about the importance of mise en place. Everything in its place. If you properly do your mise en place, then you won't have to leave in the middle of a cooking demonstration video to go get more butter. That's something that I should have had before I started cooking. But here we are. You're just staring at this wall. Please note that I did turn off the stove before I left the room. So the croutons are not going to continue cooking until I come back. So this is my dining room. That paint color is called Sparrow. Okay, I'm back. Good. I was running out of stuff to talk about. All right, we're going to add in some more butter. Just until we can get all of our croutons nice and golden brown. So let's just keep stirring those around and see what happens. Alrighty, let's take a look at that. Ooh, crispy edges, golden center. This is looking like a nice batch of croutons. They're gonna taste really good, you guys. It's just gonna taste kind of like Texas toast, to be honest. But who doesn't like buttery, toasty bread? Okay, these are looking golden and toasty and delicious for our salad. We're gonna stop it right there. We don't want them to get too dark brown or get burnt. Bon appetit. Hi, you guys, let's give it a try. You guys, this is like so not that bad.